Whatever the case may be, to the reading from the Science of Mind magazine, the Daily Guides for the 2nd of January, 2025. I was always wondering why we have the first, we have the second, and the third, and then everything else is like the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, etc. So why isn't this the tooth? I don't know, or the one and the tooth and the threeth. Anyway, there we are. Got nothing to do with these readings, but I was just going through my mind as I came up here. Another successful mediation completed. However, that's not the subject. The subject today by Rev Kelly Robbins is called More Life. More Life. First quote is from Melanie Beattie, who I had to look up. She's an American author in the self-development arena, in the recovery movement. Apparently her most famous book was probably The Language of Letting Go. What does she say? She says, quit hanging onto the handrails, let go, surrender, go for the ride of your life, do it every day. In other words, don't hold back. Ernest Holmes simply says, for God is not separate from what it is doing. The divine life is in everyone and everything. And that was from the Living the Science of Mind, page 195. And if you're interested in the Science of Mind, this is the month to do it because, as I mentioned yesterday, with the start of a new year, we go over the basics of the Science of Mind again, both usually in our readings and also certainly in our Sunday services. Anyway, this is Reverend Kelly, who says, at the end of each year, I list all the new things that I did the previous year. It's become a ritual I love. I'm grateful I always have a list, especially the ways in which I pushed myself, put myself in different situations, and grew as a result. Some things I remember without prompting, and most of it I find by scrolling through my calendar. This ritual also gives me an overview of how I've spent my time. Did I live last year as I would like to do? What is working and what is not working? How do I want to direct my activities differently in this coming year? And then she quotes Thomas Troward, who she describes as a New Thought luminary. One of his ideas came into Ernest Holmes' writings, taught that spirit is composed of 7 basic properties, and these are love, power, beauty, peace, joy, light, and life. Reverend Kelly says we're born with each of these beautiful qualities. And then she goes on to say, I find it empowering to focus on the quality of life, asking myself, quote, am I truly living, unquote. As spiritual beings, well, or as beings, yeah, we naturally grow and expand constantly, adding more life to itself. The dawn of this new year is a natural time to ask ourselves, what areas of my life would I like to breathe more into? How can I bring more life to the various aspects of my life? If we aren't growing, we're dying. It's a law of nature. As we bask in the natural energy of the first of the year, know it is the beginnings, endings, transitions, and doorways. It is the time for these. Lean in and stretch yourself into the quality of life. So what do I say about this? I'm not really considered before going through this ritual that she talks about, making a list of the new things I did in the previous year. Thought about it. I've never written it down. There is, excuse me, my nose is starting to drip a little bit. Yep, it's a bit cold in here. I never thought about writing it down, but journaling I know is good. There's been some funny stuff. If you ever read the comics in the local newspaper, the newspapers, there's one called Baby Blues, and in the latest several episodes of that, the there's three kids. The daughter is the eldest, then the son who's a brat, and then there's just more than a baby now, a toddler. And the daughter is into journaling, but the son, the brat, doesn't get it. And it's kind of a play on words and interaction between them and how she copes. But journaling, which I'm not very good at, is a good idea. I think it's good because I'm going to really try and do it again because I think what it does, it takes away a lot of that mind chatter because you get stuff down on paper and you kind of get rid of it. So it really gets rid of the mind chatter. And the other thing is, you can keep the journal just to yourself, and nobody's ever going to see it unless you show it to them. Or after you've gone, maybe you've left it behind, and people read people's journals, right? So that's what I get from this. That maybe it is a time, at least to some extent, to do some journaling and to write down what I've done. It's different than the previous years and other stuff as well. So that's the message that comes across to me is, hey, David, think about journaling again. I lovingly and passionately embrace the quality of God expressed as more life. I lovingly and passionately embrace the quality of God expressed as more life. And that's really all I got for you today because I've just come out of a 5-hour mediation and it's been 4.5 hours anyway. And it's, well, mediations and mediations. But the good news was we settled it. We had a signed agreement. So that's kind of cool. It's still kind of draining. Reverend Lisa, tune in to her tomorrow morning about 9:15. I'll be back tomorrow around about 5. Hopefully nothing gets in the way tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So I'll be back on then. And until next time, all I can say is please take care of yourselves. If you got one resolution to make for this new year, let it be this: to take care of yourself. I take care of myself, and it enables me to take care of others. How about that for a resolution? I take care of myself, which allows me to take care of others. Until tomorrow, namaste.